July 6th. Not everybody had a great 4th of July, and I hope everybody is ready for some Blood and episode number 22. Jeez. We're winding down. We're getting to where we don't have that many undiscovered locations. See. And that's good. It means we're making progress.
You saved my life. I shall never forget it.
Beauclair saddlebags. Heck, these may be better than what I have on Roach. I had the same saddlebags. Never mind.
This all bodes very ill. Before long, you will have to look to fairy tales to find a witcher at night.
Ah!
Philibert's orders. Some half-brains have been wandering around near Mont Crane. They call themselves knights errant, but I call them swill-slurping miscreants. No idea what they're looking for here. No windmills around for them to charge, but those addled ankle-biters dream up mad ideas no normal man would ever contemplate. No matter what they're up to, they're to stop it. The best way to take care of a knight errant is to cut off his head. If anyone brings me such a head, he can count on a plump pouch of coins. As you know, Philibert Fourfingers makes no idle promises. I can be harsh, but I can also be generous. Philibert. Philibert. Fiddlebird. Okay. Grease-stained notes. Only a fragment of the notes is legible. The slimmest pickings yet. Haven't even seen a stray mutt on the road for a week. Since the last caravan we robbed, the one carrying a transport of fat back for workers at the quarry, we've had nothing. Zero zip. Luckily, we ate our fill after that. Gained a slight paunch to hold us through hard times, but if those times last much longer, we'll have eaten more supplies here than we've looted, and everybody thinks being a bandit's nothing but wine, wenches, and merrymaking. Should have listened to Mama and finished school, or at least started it. Tomorrow we head back to Montcrain. We'll have to look around for a new spot. The lads are getting bed sores from so much lying around on their bums.
Come on. Hey there.
Orders on torn parchment. Pavel, take that captain boy and get him drunk tonight. And I mean slobbering, incoherent blubbering about how he loves you on all, spewing all over his boots drunk. He's just a little turd, so it shouldn't take much. Once he's seeing pink unicorns, tie him up and stuff him full of deadly nightshade and sulfur, just like you'd stuff a goose before Samhain. They say dragons love virgins, so perhaps one of those winged snakes flying above the Champs des Soleils will come pick his cherry. And since you will have seasoned it nicely beforehand, the reptile will gobble it up and keel over. Just be careful when you're putting out the reptile supper. I've lost enough men already, Philipper. Splotchy Parchment. To Jacques Le Rouge. What the bleeding humdiddles are you still doing here? I think I sent you on a scenic holiday yesterday. Those winged dung munchers grabbed Gilbert straight off the walls while he was taking his after-supper wee. How many more men am I going to lose through your incompetence, you cabbage-brained cretin? You were supposed to build a ballista as per the instructions I gave you and kill those flying lizards. If you don't finish the job in the next 2 days, I'm going to stuff you full of sulfur and toss you to the monsters for a snack. Perhaps that way you'll at least somewhat contribute to solving the problem. No regards, Philibert. Ballista diagram. I don't want to mess with those freaking boars.
Come on. Slow now. Whoa. Move it. Go, go. Whoa there. Come on, Roach.
Actually think I got an Erendite charge finally. Attack damage increased by 2, which is small, but it's finally working. I've been trying to get this thing to feed charges for a while now, and finally.
Slow now. Whoa.
You dare to get flat on me? Me? Bloody stool! Grey hacker! Witcher! Save me! Life is beautiful! Not bad! You dare to get flat on me?
Ernest Squaller's Journal. Ding my dong. Today we drink to the last drop, or till we drop. Four Fingers had us pitch camp near Delinfer Pass. And to keep from going daffy with boredom, we set on a little reconnaissance mission and happened across a merchant caravan. Sadly, we got a bit carried away. Instead of gagging and hog-tying them, the lads sharpened some stakes and stuck that fat feckers on them. That was terribly exhausting work, but we had good fun doing it, and no cleft kisser can take that away. There was one skinny snipe amongst them, but we left him for later. What matters is their wagons were packed full of quality wine just begging to be guzzled. Naturally, we established watches so not everyone would get sloshed at once, as is only common sense. My fool of a papa used to say, "Sonny, the most important thing in life is to like your job. Do that, you'll be happy." That feeble pate was a carpenter. No tart twiddling idea what he liked about smacking at wood, but bum botch him anyways. Geezer's been pushing daisies for age now, and if he were alive, I'd write him a letter like this: "Papa, I like my work a whole lot, and thanks for teaching me to read and write, because now I can let you know I give absolutely zero fucks about your advice."
Let's dance.
Blind sparrows! You saved my life. I thank you. Should you need something, find me at the Cockatrice.
There's a freaking cave here. Alright, this is going to be annoying because I'm over encumbered. Well, maybe not. This cave might not be so complex. I wonder if I could slide down, but it might be too much of a risk.
Come on, Roach. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a bandit camp? No, it's an abandoned estate.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, man. Need to make some room in our inventory.
Greetings.
What do you have on offer? Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
Wish you health.
herself. Welcome, please, Peru.
Show me what you got. So long.
I've always dreamt of traveling to the north.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its wrath to profit giants.
The duchy is in suffers from...
Greetings, knight. My most heartfelt gratitude, sir. Compensation for your sacrifice.
Wouldn't mind a glance. Well, see you later.
Go in peace for a night.
The duchy.
I guess the last thing to do for Knight for Hire is to kill the 2 Hans-based leaders, which I really don't want to do that because apparently you can use those for crown farming.
Suffers from a disconnect with reality.
Take good care of yourself.
thought I put the portrait of Geralt there earlier.
Every day the same. Wine, wine, not like smuggling wine. It's enough to drive you batty.
Go up to any knight and shout, "The beast!" You'll smell the soiled armor.
The days pass. The pile of work remains.
But a few drops of wine, and lo and
If my lips don't stink of wine, my wife...
And we still have a few undiscovered locations. Like, we have this guarded treasure here. It looks like this bandit camp. I know what this is. This is the entrance to the Hans base, but for some reason, it's still showing that I haven't looted that final item to clear the base off. Signal fire. But let's clear up this abandoned estate. We might get another charge on our erendite while we're at it.
Our deeds of light bring out through all eternity. I am Maximus Nonius Macrinus.
Notes by Van de Gilder from Philibert's Hans. I'd always enjoyed practicing my craft. Killing came as natural to me as blowing my nose. They raised me to be a knight, and being a brigand is not much different. First blood and swords, then wine and harlots to wash the worries away. But ever since that hard night, everything has changed. My dreams are filled with nightmares in which I relive those events step by step. We took the estate by storm and pulled Maximus Macrinus out of his bedding, still in his 90s. Yet we had to put off dealing with him and first to see his family. Those were our orders, like it or not, but it's one thing to impale some corpulent cow diddler with a wine-stained mustache, and quite another to string up a snot-nosed runt. He squealed like a little girl when the lads threw the noose around his neck. Macrinus tried to buy us off, even showed me the candlestick lever that opens the hidden vault where he hides his family treasures. But Philibert's orders were clear. Next up was Maximus's wife. The lads spent a long time having their way with her, making Maximus watch. Too long I didn't know the harlot's brood, and have it I didn't know the Harlot's brood, and haven't a clue what he did to Philibert to make him wish such a fate on him and his family, but that was too much for me. Only once his whole clan was swinging did we turn our attention to Macrinus. We stuck him with hot pokers, cut off his ears, then slit his gut, and he, throughout all this horror, he did not scream once, only groaned under his breath. When it came time for him to die, in a puddle of his own excrement under the tree where we hang his wife and son, he looked me in the eyes and whispered, "Vengeance shall be mine, in this life or the next." Those were his last words. Dark clouds filled the sky in that instant, and a harsh gale sprung up. Then I gave the order to move out. I remember perfectly how, when I reported this back to Philibert, he was all smiles, happy as a clam. I didn't even harangue me for not looting the manor. It was clear he cared about one thing, and one thing only, Macrinus's death. Yet news of the treasure we left at Casteldacia quickly spread around Montcrain, and a few lads from our Hans are fixing to head over there to see what they can find. I'll join them. I'll bury their remains still lying there in the yard. Maybe then their spirits will know peace. Maybe I'll wipe away at least some of my sins. Maybe at last I'll be able to sleep soundly. Philibert always pays his debts. Find the stash of Macrinus's house using your Witcher senses. While exploring the abandoned Casteldacia estate, Geralt found it haunted by the specter of a knight. After a long and hard fight, he defeated the apparition. He searched the area where they had fought and spotted a note. He learned of Maximus Macrinus, a knight cruelly murdered along with his family by marauders from Philibert Four Fingers Hans. The note also hinted at the existence of a hidden treasure. Huh. There it is. Maximus Nonius Macrinus Journal. Journal filled with the notes written in beautiful calligraphy. It boggles the mind, but that dregs drinking Philibert von Witton has returned to the duchy, and it seems he's not alone. He's gathered a group of fellow Salsnoggers, and together they've taken to attacking traveling merchants. The son of Knight has become a brigand. What an outrage. My brother's knights warned me Philibert's Hans is harassing men for information about my family. Do I have a cause for fear? I have heard Philibert has reached rock bottom, but could he really sink so low as to raise a hand against someone who once spared his life? Geralt found the stashed treasure chest and thus shored up what seemed like an ever-present shortfall in his pouch. Well, I thought this was like an abandoned estate. Well, it is an abandoned estate, but I meant like abandoned site is what I meant. But apparently it's not.
Rickett! Rickett, what's it? That's good, John! Take it for a ride! You dare to get flat me?
Orders on stained paper. Timon, hold off on finishing out the cargo. One of you drowning is enough. I've sent Go and Do to you. Before those lads joined our Hans, they were pearl divers in a penal colony in Gamera. They'll have an easier time bringing up the chest. Once you get the goods, return to the Caraberta Woods. There you'll join Americ Tapeworm's crew. Together, you're to pick those academics' camps clean. Tents, pallets, and food supplies. You're to take it all to Mont Crane. We could do with a bit of comfort at the Castle Grapion Academy's expense. Just try not to sink any more boats, Philibert. Search the sunken boat, waiting for Goendo. While unheroically roaming the backcountry that was the Champs de Soleil, our heroic witcher was ambushed by a pack of ne'er-do-well highway robbers. He quickly dispatched the upstart traveler molesters, then prompted by curiosity, searched their encampment. He found an interesting letter. The bandits had previously ambushed a group of scholars returning from an expedition to the Caraberta Woods. They got there just desert soon after, when their boat laden with loot sank. It now rests somewhere at the bottom of the Sans Retour River. How much further can I go here?
Should glance at the map.
Okay. I kind of figured it would tell me that I need to turn back. Invoice of receipt for the below listed equipment delivered to the Imperial Academy at Castle Gropion Archaeological Expedition led by Professor Noel Evor. Name of equipment, haulage dry, 1. Freightage carts, quantity 3. Expedition tents, quantity 5. Sleeping pallets, quantity 10. Blankets, quantity 10. Tool crates, quantity 5. Food crates, quantity 10. Wine crates, quantity 20. Acknowledge receipt of above mentioned equipment. Professor Noel Evor, signature of person materially responsible. Luca A. Fron, Junior Quartermaster Clerk, Chancelleria of the Imperial Academy at Castle Gropion. Bellhaven Blade. I think that's supposed to be one of the better swords in the game. Am I freaking stuck? I don't really know what the hell happened there, but yeah, like I was freaking stuck. Combining work with pleasure, Geralt plunged into the relaxing, refreshing waters of the Sines Tortur. He quickly found the sunken boat and emptied the treasure chest hidden within it.
I work from dawn till dusk's last light. Then give my wife a good long night.
Run, Roach. Something's not right.
It's a Hans poster. Oh shit. Alright, it's gonna be another one of these vampire fights.
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
Sir Christophe Duggery's diary. My beloved Seraphine has a lover. I'm not going to rend my garments, curse the gods, or swear vengeance. My Seraphine brims with so much life energy, it was inevitable some would spill over into other canals. It is now up to me to cut off those spillways, vanquish my rival, and hope the walls I erect will prove sufficient to satisfy her vitality and give us a life of mutual exuberance. I've already forgiven her, and now I need but meet her beau and remove him from our life. Yesterday I followed Seraphine. They hold their tryst at the olive grove. How romantic when they meet. Birds flew over the grove, a whole flock, twittering and chirping, as if celebrating the lover's joy, and as if mocking me cruelly. How symbolic. I can see this romance drain my darling wife. Since she began seeing this, her lover, she has become anemic, eternally pale. She wanders the house at night aimlessly, blindly. She used to be so lively, so radiant, yet now she is listless, apathetic, resigned. I must gather my courage and end their relationship as soon as possible. I, Christophe Duggery, despise violence. I shall resolve the matter of my wife's lover pragmatically. I prepared a full sack of Nilfgaardian florins, one so heavy I can barely lift it. I shall wait for my Seraphine to return from the grove to our residence, and then I shall catch him and make him an offer he cannot refuse. Saint Lebiota, give me strength. Letter from a lover. My darling girl, I cannot wait until we meet again. My nights are restless, my head full of thoughts of you and only you. If someone had told me but a few months prior such a virile and burning passion would bind me to another woman, I would have laughed in their face. But now my only desire is to be close to you. Christophe is beginning to suspect something, yet I have hope my reassurances will quell his worries. I would not like to hurt him if possible. He is a good man, warm-hearted and honest, but the fire which once burned between us is extinguished. I know you understand this, and am delighted I can be honest with you. Till we can meet again. It cannot be too soon. Please, Ximena, take care. Yours lovingly, devotedly, undyingly, Seraphine. Wow, like... Huh. So I guess he was cheating on her... like it was a lesbian love affair, basically. Is there still something here? I don't know, I can't tell, but eh. From what I can tell, it wasn't necessarily a lesbian love affair. It was probably another vampire, a female vampire, that turned her. And what is this? A shrine to the prophet Lebiota? Pinastris Hermitage.
Give me peace, please. What makes you insist on me as your victim? Torment. Be gone, foul.
Wolfpack. The Flagellant's Manifesto. Fellow sons and daughters of Lebiota, the end is nigh. Mend your ways and put your faith in the good tome. For our prophet has written, to shun the pleasures of the flesh and shirk from comfort is at times recommended, and to value one's neighbor's fortune above one's own comfort is commendable. That is why we, the 8-day flagellants, scourge ourselves and torment our flesh to ensure all folks of the world enjoy long and prosperous lives. Whatever evil, sickness, or misconduct lurks in this world's dark corners survives not because we have been negligent in striking our backs with the whip. And where's the entrance to this cave? There we are.
Grant me 1 day's rest. I beg you.
You're tormented. By what?
Forgive me, but I must ask directly. Are you a man? I no longer trust my senses.
He's a witcher.
Not exactly. I'm a witcher. Quite a few folk think I don't deserve to be classified as a member of the human species. Know some personally.
A witcher? But no. Nor can you help me.
We'll see. Just tell me what the problem is.
A foulness, a demon or wraith haunts me, grants me no rest. It wants something. I sense this, but know not what. Each day it appears, tarries, then leaves. It's here now, there, beyond the trees.
Don't see a thing.
Of course not. It cannot be seen.
Yet you see it?
Only when I drink the brew, which brings a pain to my head, nausea. But I endured these to keep an eye on the Wraith, my tormentor.
This demon of yours, can you describe it?
It is an enormous horse. Its hoofbeats pounding in the dark. It gallops to me, stops, stares, then runs on.
Sure it's not just a wild horse, run-of-the-mill?
The creature is not of this world. When it gazes at me, a terrible chill pervades my soul. It is evil condensed. Its eyes black, void. Each time it comes, terror grips me. I cease what I'm doing, still my breath and heart.
What's your brew made of? Gotta wonder what's causing such strong visions. You drop in some mushroom, jumper tub, dancing dewlap?
Close. The common grey top. I see you know your herbs.
Grey top? Variety's extinct if I recall correctly.
Nearly, but not quite. I was able to grow a few from dried spores. I'd hoped a brew of grey top would reveal this nightmare. I was not wrong.
Far as I know, grey top produces some powerful side effects. Though it can, in fact, reveal the hidden, the immaterial.
Yes, I see the evil. Better that than to know it is there, but not know where.
Need to talk.
Is it gold you want?
Orens or Novigrad crowns. Florins will work too.
I've none of any coin. I've nothing, in fact. Just potatoes in the cellar. A good crop this year. Tend to this quickly, completely, and several sacks will be yours. Agreed?
Don't have a choice, I guess. Potatoes it is, but how many?
Hmm. 18. Let's go for 18 potatoes.
I feel we could agree. Were you to go a few lower?
12.
Agreed. That many I can spare.
Fine. You seem sure something's out there. I'll see what I can do. Start by taking a look around.
Equine phantoms. Use your Witcher senses to investigate the area and find out what's tormenting the hermit. I have often heard Geralt boast that in terms of monsters, he firmly believes he has seen it all. Yet what he encountered on this occasion demanded that he revise that view. While traveling through Toussaint, he happened on a female hermit who claimed she, an invisible specter, was tormenting her and would be her end. The Witcher was skeptical, not least because he could not imagine how he might defeat something invisible. The woman's suffering seemed so intense, however, that he resolved to try to help her.
Dead moths. Attracted to some ghosts like to the light of a candle. Seems there's at least some truth to the hermit's ravings.
Grant me but one whole day's rest. I beg you.
Common grey top. Strong hallucinogen. Thought extinct. Don't often get to see that. Drops of blood on the pillow. Trail of him leading to the window.
Shutters closed tight. Need to check the other side, see if the trail continues. Trail of blood starts at the pillow, ends here. Medallion's still vibrating.
Very near to it. It looked at you, then galloped into the woods.
Something drinks the hermit's blood at night. That I know. Gotta talk to her. Maybe she can tell me something more.
It's a vampire, huh?
Witcher.
Heard flagellants whip themselves to atone for all humankind's wrongs. To appease the gods, gain their forgiveness. That why you do it?
We've each our own reasons. I seek to atone for the suffering of a living being, which once fell victim to another's vanity. I care not for humankind, preferring instead the company of animals.
What do you have to sell? Most likely some kind of wraiths tormenting you. Can't tell what kind, though. Felt weak, spent lately? Noticed bite marks on your skin?
As I said, I feel weaker by the day. And bites, of course. There are lice and midges here aplenty.
This isn't lice. Something much bigger drinks your blood while you sleep.
But I do not sleep. Not a wink. He's always present, always watching. I cannot bear it any longer.
Sadly, not much I can do. Can't exterminate it if I can't see it.
The Great Top. I shall make a brew of it for you. I've 2 mushrooms left. Enough for 1 dose. Perhaps then you'll see what I do.
This mushroom, even in me, could produce some nasty, unpredictable side effects.
True. There is no knowing how Great Top would affect a mutated body.
A proper brew could be our only chance to figure this out. All right. High time we tried this. If I start muttering something about unicorns or sorceresses, ignore it.
What the hell? Did she just double cross the Witcher?
See no wraith.
Wow, this clover's amazing. Now that's what I call a bouquet.
Who said that?
Oh, you're awake. Had me worried. You were out way too long. Even considered giving you some white honey. Kinda hard to do with hooves, though.
Roach? Your voice. It's, interesting. Gotta say, I expected a young mare to sound girlish.
Based on what? Your vast experience with talking animals? As far as I know, I'm your first.
Good point. Must be the brew that did this. Interesting side effect.
Great, isn't it? You should take this stuff more often. Got so many pointers I could give you.
Can't, sadly. Drinking this too often could prove fatal. Hey, know how you always show up when I whistle? How's that work exactly?
Well, you're my human. Gotta be there when you need me. Yes, I'll be there for you, ooh, as the world falls down.
Still kinda strange. How you cross the ocean when I call sometimes, but then get hung up on the tiniest fence. What's that about?
What can I say? Everyone's got limits.
Listen, got this contract I need to finish before the brew wears off.
Right. Monster won't slay itself. Let me see. First up, I need to know what we're dealing with. Follow me, and try not to trample any plants or small animals.
Okay, this quest is just getting weird.
Geralt, we gotta inspect this area closely. I'll look for clues. You stand there and... well, just stand.
Right.
Will you look at that?
Don't see anything here.
These are hoof prints. Not just any old horses either. These were left by an astral being. Otherworldly. We gotta follow them.
A horse is more to a Witcher than merely a means of locomotion. Just ask any bandit who has taken a well-aimed hoof to the head during combat. Additionally, many a Witcher has talked over the nuts and bolts of his current contract with his horse while staring at the stars shining above the lonely road, though few would ever admit to this. Geralt named his every mount Roach, though no one really knows why or what Geralt had in mind with this name. When asked, Geralt would dodge the question or give an evasive answer. Perhaps this had just been the first word that came to his head, Roach. For her part, seemed to accept the name with no reservations. Geralt would grow annoyed and curse whenever Roach panicked and tossed him in the middle of a battle, as well as when she would suddenly turn a different direction than he wanted to, while he was riding at full gallop towards some urgent destination. In truth, though, he was very attached to her and would never trade her for any other horse, not even one which, when summoned, would never stand helpless in front of a seemingly easily surmountable obstacle such as a low fence or stray piece of timber, nor even one which would sometimes, in some comprehensible fashion, wind up dancing on some peasant's roof. Well, Geralt would say with a shrug, a Witcher's horse isn't a normal animal. Constant contact with magic beverages and signs must have left a mark.
Dead moths often mean a phantom's nearby.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Now, what about the smell? Same whiff I caught at the cemetery in Vizima when we were hunting ghouls. The smell of death.
Smells normal to me. Not taking me for a ride, are you?
All right. Now I know what we're up against. Right, Geralt. Let's sum up what we know so far.
Don't know much. It's a spirit of some sort. Torments the hermit for some unknown reason. It's immaterial, so I've got no idea how to fight it. If we can even find it, that is.
Geralt, please, I got this. It's definitely an Umbra, an immaterial wraith. This one's assumed the form of a horse.
An Umbra. Actually makes sense. Umbrae are completely invisible, even to Witchers. But how can you be sure?
Because it's not invisible to me, Doofus. It's right over there.
It's getting away! Come on, Witcher, hop in the saddle! Gotta catch it!
Hey,
There's the Umbra! Let's go, Geralt! After it! Hey! Gotta save my strength a bit. No telling how long we're gonna need to keep running. Geralt, we gotta have a man-to-horse talk. No offense, but your riding skills, they leave a bit to be desired, buddy. You'd really do me a solid if you could, apply a slightly surer hand. Be a little more decisive about where you want me to go. Sometimes I got no idea, buddy. Do I go left, right, torque where I'm standing?
Yeah, and it'd be great if you could respond more fluidly to my commands.
Hey, heard this one? Horse walks into a tavern, and the innkeeper says, "Hey, pal, why the long face?" Ah!
Oh, man.
Let's not lose sight of that Umbra. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's right there. Run, Roach.
What the fuck do you think I'm doing?
As long as we're being candid, I gotta ask. Why do you sometimes buck me off in the middle of a fight?
First I've heard. Don't recall that ever happening.
Of course you don't.
Melted into thin air. Oh, fuck! Geralt, watch out! Gods! Watch for the overgrown demon cats! Help!
I don't even know where the heck I am. I don't even think I've been here on my own.
Marcello Clerici, knight. Died last year. Was more or less the same age as our hermit. Seems his spirit's become a horse-shaped umbra that's tormenting Penastri.
Why are you telling me this? I can read and draw my own conclusions.
Thinking aloud, that's all. Helps me focus.
Geralt, it's the Umbra! Attack!
Let me explain.
Talk, but make it fast. Why are you tormenting the hermit?
She torments me, refuses to forgive me. I'm denied peace in the afterlife, and it's all her doing. Each day I come and beg her for clemency.
Beg her for clemency? You drink her blood, drive her mad with fear.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, the monstrous force takes me. Though I also know I'll not have peace till the day Penastri forgives me.
Why take the form of a horse?
A horse? What do you mean? Each day since I died, a power lifts me from my grave and makes me run. Then I return with blood in my mouth. I don't know what this is, how it comes to pass, but I do know the torment will continue until she forgives me. But she sees me as a horse, you say?
Seems so. Same way I saw you. You and the Hermit, how do you know each other?
We met as babes, grew up side by side. I loved her. Yet she was always sad. Nothing could cheer her. The world terrified her. I thought her gloom came from being poor. So I did my damnedest to take us from our village, make us a better life elsewhere. Became a squire, took her with me to the palace. But Penastri soon learned nobles are no more decent than peasants, not a speck. Once even I'd grown vile to her eyes, she fled the palace and joined the Flagellants. I left the court to be near her, yet she cast me off. Said she didn't want to know me. When the whip-bearers proved too hard-hearted for her too, she became a hermit. I see it clearly now, though I never understood her while alive. From the grave's dark depth, the living are bright, sharp flares. You see all their thoughts at once. Now I understand why she had to cast me off.
She's full of rage. Probably what turned you into an Umbra. Must have hurt her something awful if she refuses to forgive you, would rather see you suffer. What did you do?
To her? Nothing. But my horse, I flogged it to death. Penastri, she saw this. Proud stallion, my Blaze. But he was a bucker, and tossed me during a tourney. One I'd wanted to win badly. Penastri had been so glad they'd let me stand. Me, a peasant's son. I wanted to win it for her. But that horse made me loose. Rage overcame me. I struck and struck, until at last he fell. Oh, the regret! I beg you, forgive me. Absolve me in Blaze's very name.
Not in my power.
But your horse could? Please, I'd do anything. I'm desperate. Help me. Noble mare, forgive me my sin.
Could free his spirit, pardoning him on behalf of his horse. But you shouldn't do it if you don't think he deserves forgiveness.
Did a rotten thing. Got no excuse. Your horse was loyal. Did the best damn job he could. That's how we horses are.
True. I know I deserved what befell me.
But we aren't vengeful, don't hold grudges, don't dwell on being left in monster-infested woods. So, in your poor Blaze's name, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's incredible. Such relief, such lightness.
All right then. Guess we might as well head back. Penastri's nights ought to be ghost-free from now on. Anything to add, Geralt?
Nope. Let's go see her. Phantom's gone. Shouldn't torment you ever again.
I felt a change. I did. As if I'd been released from a cramped, dank cellar. I had come to believe no one could help me. I'm grateful, Witcher. As agreed, your reward. With my thanks.
70 freaking potatoes, man.
Ought to thank my horse, actually. Phantom's departure, mostly Roach's doing.
Then I thank you too, noble creature.
Gotta admit, easy peasy with our powers combined. So, what now? We hit the path? Ride to the nearest notice board? Rustle up another contract?
Exactly. Oh, effects of the bruise waning. I can feel it. Won't be able to understand you soon.
That's horseshit. I mean, I got so much more I want to tell you.
Horseshit.
Clever beasts, horses. Farewell, Witcher.
The woman's suffering seemed so intense, however, that he resolved to try to help her. To be able to track the hermit haunting Wraith, Geralt imbibed a dose of brew the woman prepared. The concoction had a highly surprising side effect, for Geralt began to understand the speech of his trusty steed, Roach. Together, the Witcher and his mount tracked down the nightmarish ghost. It proved to be the spirit of a knight, Panastri's former lover, who had committed a terrible crime when in anger he had attacked his own horse and beat it to death. He remained restless in the afterlife, for the hermit had refused to forgive him for the deed. Yet the story ended happily thanks to Roach, namely the mayor decided to forgive the ghost on behalf of the horse he had murdered. Umbra. An Umbra is merely an unclean conscience, one tormented by guilt and unforgiven wrongs. A man wallows in sin with loose women and can't sleep at night, then invents hokey about some Umbra or phantom and blabbers about it at the tavern. Sabine of Gaul, mystic and priestess of the prophet Lebioda. According to some philosophers, everything we do in life leaves a permanent trace in the delicate matter which makes up our souls. Evil deeds, especially harm done to innocent creatures, can torment the soul of a sinner and cause it to remain restless even after death. While traveling through Toussaint, Geralt discovered there might be a grain of truth in these theories and folk beliefs. He came across a hermit whose sleep was troubled by some invisible phantom. Geralt determined this phantom was an Umbra, the ghost of a recently deceased knight who had committed a terrible deed while alive, and now visited the hermit to demand forgiveness. In his wraithly form, he drank her blood and systematically deprived her of life energy. The Umbra appeared to the hermit as a horse, for the evil deed the knight had committed was to flog his own mount to death. The knight's spirit was unaware of the demonic role he had assumed in the afterlife. Geralt managed to figure out the key to freeing the knight's ghost was to forgive him in the name of the hermit. While completing a contract in Toussaint, Geralt had the chance to find out exactly how Sirius Roach took her role and how well versed in the arcana of the Witcher's trade she was. He also discovered she was an entirely pleasant conversation partner.
Oi, Master Witcher!
Witcher.
Come here, please!
Smearing his hiney with honey.
Alright everybody, it's approaching the 2-hour mark. Perfect place to stop. I didn't quite get as far as I anticipated. I thought I would have wrapped up all the undiscovered locations and alternate quests, but really I didn't expect that last quest to be so long. Although it was interesting, I'm not, regretting that, so it was worth. But we're at the 2-hour mark and I've got to make a trip, like an hour-and-a-half trip here later to go meet friends and family. So I'm going to end the stream here, and I probably won't be able to pick this back up until I return back here Sunday. And even then, it might be a stretch because I've got to get some sleep for work Monday morning. So we'll see. But for sure, we'll have in the next stream, we'll have all the undiscovered locations completed. We've got this one to do up here in the north. And I think that's it. I know we got a guarded treasure, and maybe this. But I don't think this is going to go away until I clear out the Hans base completely. So yeah. And I also want to come back here and check out this cemetery, because I think the brief time I was there, I think I noticed some things that were lootable. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. You guys have a happy 4th of July weekend. Peace out.